Hi guys, it's Isis. Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be all about surviving the holidays while you're estranged from your family of origin. So this is my 5th year being completely free from my ex-toxic family. So we're coming up on the 5th Christmas I'm going to spend without them, and I'm so much happier now than I was while I was a part of that family. So I'm going to get into certain things you can do to help yourself cope with the loneliness if you are estranged from your own family. I'm going to talk about things you could do to help yourself leading up to the holidays, and then things you can do on the actual holidays to alleviate this feeling of loneliness. I want to talk about the negative internal dialogue we can sometimes do with ourselves leading up to the holidays. We can be feeling empowered the rest of the year, but then the holidays roll around and we're inundated with commercialism. You should shop here for gifts for your loved ones, or here for gifts for your loved ones. We're just inundated with this starting in October. And so if you are estranged from your family, it can be kind of overwhelming. So the rest of the year, you feel empowered, that you've let go of these people. And then October rolls around and these feelings of loneliness can start to sink in. So leading up to the holidays, there's a few things you can do. One, the self-talk. A lot of us who come from toxic families have been raised to think the worst of ourselves, especially if you were the scapegoat in a toxic family, like I was. So after we leave, these internal things that we tell ourselves when we're panicking are so mean. So you might be telling yourself stuff like, oh my God, I left my family, I'm a loser, I'm going to die alone, I'm unlovable because of the way I was raised, no one's ever going to want to deal with the damage, I'm going to die alone, blah, 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 this toxic self-talk in your head. Okay, you have to stop doing that. And there's ways you can stop doing that, okay? You need to think of this time as a transitional period in your life. You are not fated to be alone. None of those things are true. None of those negative things are true. It's just, you want to think about this like you just moved to a different country and you don't know anybody yet. And you're just transitioning into a new phase. You've left your old family and you've yet to find your found family. And that is it. And this is just a difficult transitional period, but it is not forever. I mean, think about when you started a new school, or the first day of high school, or the first week you spent on the college campus. I'm sure you all have times in your life when you were going through other transitional periods where you felt lonely before you found friends in a new area, a new school. You have to think about this like that. This is no different if you had moved to another country or another state or another town and you're just in a transitional period where you've left your family of origin behind and you have yet to build your found family. So that is how you have to look at this. It's not going to be this way forever. It's just this way this year. It's okay. It's just a transitionary period. That's all it is. And I was watching a video about how some people who have gone no contact with their ex-toxic family don't tell their friends that they disconnected from their ex-toxic family because they're ashamed to admit that they cut off or they no longer have a biological family. Okay, and so I was watching a video and it was talking about that and how a lot of people who are estranged from their families don't tell their friends the situation they're in because they're embarrassed. That is something I would encourage all of you to overcome. First of all, you have absolutely nothing to feel guilty or shameful about. It's your ex-family that should feel guilty and shame for being so toxic that you had to leave. You have nothing to feel shame about. In fact, it was an incredibly hard, courageous thing that you did. So you need to look at it from the lens of, wow, I did something really brave that a lot of people will never find the courage to do. So you must tell your friends the reality of your life. And if you cannot tell your friends the reality of your life, they are not your friends. They are acquaintances. And keeping them in the dark about what's really going on in your life, if you're not able to be vulnerable with them, you're never going to really connect with them. This is no different if you had gotten a divorce and you were afraid to tell your friends that you were getting a divorce from your spouse. That's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. They're going to need to know what's going on in your life. They're going to need to know why your husband or your wife isn't coming to, events with you. You must be honest with the people who are important to you. So you have nothing to feel guilt or shame about. You must tell your friends what's actually going on, because maybe that will get you an invite to Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas Eve or Christmas dinner. And, building a group of friends is so important for you to do right now. People that are actual friends that understand you. So if you feel like you can't tell your friends that you're estranged from your family because you feel like they're going to start the pearl clutching and go into a whole dramatic episode of, oh, I would never, how could you, blah, blah, blah. If you feel like they're going to react like that, then they're not the right friends for you. Because I know that people who have the most horrific reactions to the news that someone has disconnected from their family, the pearl clutchers, the people who freak out when they hear this information, they're usually the people who have really toxic families themselves and are desperate to cover up their family dysfunction. The people who get the most offended by family estrangement are usually the people who are hiding the most family skeletons in the closet. So, if you tell your friend and they react like that, this is obviously not the right friend for you. And that is okay. And you might feel overwhelmed, like this is another person I have to let go of. But if you think about it logically, when we're raised in toxic environments, we tend to be attracted to toxic people who are similar. So this friend might be someone who's very similar to your ex-family in terms of energy and opinions about family and attitudes about family. So this might be someone who is similar to your ex-family, and you're better off letting them go. Okay, do not be afraid. If you can't be open with these people, do not be afraid to let them go. Now, I would highly recommend that it's October as I'm filming this, so you still have time. Find a support group or a meetup group immediately for people who are estranged from their relatives. Immediately. It's so important because, like I said, this is a transitionary phase. You need to find new people to bond with. So, find a support group or a meetup group that deals with toxic family or family estrangement. Now, this is so important. You cannot form a real friendship with someone because you're both against something. So if you go to this meetup group or this support group and everyone is only bonding over the fact that they left their family or their family was toxic, or they're only talking about that and you can't connect on any other level, then maybe these aren't like your found family. Maybe these are just people you can talk to and have therapeutic interactions with, but maybe they're not, who's going to be your found family, and that's okay. Don't put all this pressure on yourself that you have to find a replacement family, like right now. That's impossible. Things take time. But keep putting yourself out there, going to meetup groups, going to support groups, and eventually you'll find people that not only understand how toxic your ex-family was, but who also that you can connect to with on another level. Maybe you'll like the same movies, the same music, maybe you want to go to concerts together or movies together or have the same hobbies. But yes, find a common thread with the people that you're meeting in these groups that's other than, I hate my ex-family, you hate your ex-family, let's bitch. Okay, you need to have a more important common thread than that. So, this is what you want to do. Be open with the people who are in your life and try to find new friends, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get an invite to a holiday dinner. Okay? Now, if you don't, that's okay too. I don't want you to go into this like, it's October and I have to find my found family by December. No, that's not why you're doing this. That's putting the wrong type of energy into it. Go into it with, I'm going to go and I'm going to meet people and I'm open to what happens. And if you find somebody that you can have a holiday dinner with, great. And if you don't, that's okay too. So now I'm going to go over tips that help you on the actual day. So that was everything leading up to the day. Now I'm going to go what you can do on the actual day, actually Thanksgiving, actual Christmas, to prevent your brain from going crazy when you start thinking about your ex-family and you're all by yourself. But before we do that, I just want to say that I wrote a novel and my main character, the romantic male lead, is estranged from his toxic family, and this is why he falls so in love with this teenage girl who is also, her mother is estranged from their toxic grandfather, so they understand each other. And so if you're interested in signing up for the book's mailing list, I would so appreciate it if you go to my author's website and sign up if you think that this is a story you might be interested in reading. What you can do for the pressure of like, oh my God, it's Thanksgiving and I'm all alone. Oh my God, it's Christmas and I'm all alone. This is how you get through the day if you're completely by yourself. And I was lucky because I'm married. Okay, so I had holidays when it was just me and my husband. And I understand that if you're single and you decide to cut off your biological family, my heart goes out to you because I know it's harder to do when you are single. But here are some tips to survive the day. Number 1, movies and TV shows. Save a movie or a television show that you have been dying to see for Thanksgiving or Christmas Day and sit there and binge watch this story that you love, or watch your favorite movies that you love that you haven't seen in a while. Just do a movie marathon by yourself, okay? Keep your brain focused on the stories that you're watching and the stories that you're engaged with, and that will prevent you from thinking, oh my God, I'm all alone, I'm all alone. So yeah, movie marathons, binge watching your TV shows. I mean, if you know a show is coming out that's going to be released between now and Christmas, don't watch it when it comes out. Save it for Thanksgiving Day. Save it for Christmas Day. I remember watching the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance show on Thanksgiving or Christmas. It was like, it just prevented my brain from thinking about my ex-toxic family at all. It was wonderful. I was just in the moment. You can go to the movies, go to the movie theater by yourself, doesn't matter. Live in a story, escape from this reality, but hold something you haven't seen in a while or something you haven't seen yet that you've been dying to see and binge watch it on that day. The other thing you can do is if there's food that you love that you're looking forward to, also hold off on eating it until that day. I mean, you could cook a Thanksgiving feast for yourself, or you can do something completely untraditional because it's just you. You can have whatever you want to eat on Thanksgiving because it's just you. So I would keep a food that you're dying to eat, that you love, that you haven't had in a while. Don't eat it for a while. Save it for the special occasion. And that way, when you're eating it and you're watching your favorite, movie or TV show, or you're engaged in the story, you are grateful and in the moment. Even if you are 100% by yourself, that's how you can generate a feeling of comfort and happiness on this day. Okay, another thing I would recommend that you do on this day, besides holding off gratification and then saving special things for this day, the other thing, avoid social media. If by chance you do see somebody's social media post where one of the people you follow on Instagram is posting all these pictures of like their happy family, and with all these hashtags like blessed and hashtags like perfect family ever, all that crap that everyone just loves to play up. If you happen to come across this before, during, or after the holiday, just remember that this is only one little fraction of reality. A lot of these people, I was in a support group for survivors of narcissistic abuse, and one of the girls said, my mom would be obsessed with taking these perfect family pictures, and then 5 minutes later, after the picture was taken and uploaded onto social media, she would be screaming at us, having a narcissistic or borderline personality meltdown. The food would be like hitting the wall. Dishes would be shattering. So even if you see these posts about like the perfect family online, you have no idea what's going on in anyone's world. You really don't. So don't feel jealous or resentful that like they're there with their perfect family and you're not, because you do not know what sort of toxicity is happening. You don't know. They could be the best family in the world. They could be the most toxic people. You're not there. You don't know. And the picture and the video that you're seeing is only one little fraction of reality. And if they are the happiest people in the world, you can look at it like, if you actually know these people and you know they're a happy family, you can look at that instead of getting jealous and rageful that they have this and you don't, or upset that they have this and you don't. Look at it like, okay, I didn't have this growing up. And it's really hard for my brain to accept the fact that this exists. It's good to know that healthy families exist. And one day I will be part of that. And one day I will be part of a healthy family. It's just right now I'm in a transitional period where I left the old people behind and I'm looking for the new people. If this helped, please subscribe to the channel and please do sign up for my book's mailing list, because family estrangement in the novel is a heavy, heavy theme one of the themes, and it's one of the, in my teen romance novel, it is definitely one of the contributing factors of why the two characters bond so much and why they, have such a strong bond between them, because they both dealt with that. All right, thanks guys. Good luck. Let me know in the comments if any of this helped you, and if you think it's going to help you, and then after the holidays, if you did any of this and it helped you, leave it in the comments. All right, good luck. Happy holidays. You can still have a happy holiday no matter who is in your life and what is going on. All right.